Conspiracies. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name's Dr. Den, and you're listening to Dr. Den Does. So, what am I going to talk about today? Well, I'm going to talk to you about probably an injustice, and definitely what I think is a conspiracy. And we're talking about the Grand Prix that happened on Saturday. The one where George Russell took over from Lewis Hamilton. He was well in the lead when the first safety car was taken out. He then took another lead and was well in front. When he was called in, when the safety car was called out again for a change of tyres, as was Valtteri Bottas, he came in as required, had his wheels changed, went out, and no sooner had he got out, he was called back in again for having the wrong tyres on, as was Valtteri Bottas. But here's the weird thing. George Russell came in, had his tyres changed, went out, carried on working around the track, said he did notice a slight change in control on the car. They called him in again. He was in second place at this point because of the screw up with the tyres, because of the mess up. So he started off further down and worked his way back up to second place, and he was having a very, very good chance of getting back in the lead. They called him back in, said he had a puncture. So he duly went back in, got his tyres changed again, which took him down to, I think it was 16th or 17th or something like that. And at the end of the race, he'd worked himself up to 9th, which was behind Valtteri Bottas. Now, personally, I believe that the tyres they put on, which weren't new, they were scrubbed, I think they knew that there was a puncture in that tyre. I believe that they didn't want him to win. I think they wanted him to finish behind Bottas, because it would have been extremely embarrassing for a young kid to come in and beat their number two by such a huge amount. And I think, personally, that he should be their number two for next season. Him and Lewis could rule the world. Without a doubt, we're looking at a future world champion, and even better than Lewis. I think if next year Lewis wins the world championship again, he will retire or move on to another team, one of those two, in which case I think Bottas will come in. The number two driver at the moment for Lewis won't get a look in after this, especially if George Russell races the next race, because it looks like Lewis may not. And if he wins that, then Lewis's number two is definitely not going to get a look in. And like I said, if Russell wins that, I think his seat is secured when Lewis drops out. And I think there'll be a lot of teams looking to get him in the seat of their vehicles for next season. Doesn't matter what happens. It's going to be very, very difficult for him in the future, because he's going to have loads of offers. I think he's the brightest prospect in Formula One for a long, long time. Charles Leclerc, who drives for Ferrari, I think he had a lot of chances in the beginning. He looks like he's not as good as we thought he was going to be. Not sure why, but he's dropped off a bit. So we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, that's my thought on Formula One at the moment. Last race, I think, is next week or the week after. Can't remember. But the season's coming to an end. I'm not sure whether I'm happy about it or not. I'd like to congratulate Lewis Hamilton. I think he's done extremely well. There's no competition for him at the moment. I don't care what anybody says. There is no competition for that man. He drives like a demon. The man's just incredible. He deserves everything he gets. He's extremely talented. He's calm under whatever the problem is. He'll just take it in and just drive through it. He's amazing. I wish him well. I wish him all the best for next season. I hope he does decide to sit in with the Mercedes for the last year. I think next year will be his last year with Mercedes. There is no doubt that him and the manager of Mercedes get on extremely well. You only have to look at them working together. They're full of smiles. They love it. They know they're a great team. So hopefully Bottas will realise that he's not the number two there, and the future is George Russell. So I'm going to bring that to an end, Formula One thing. But there's a link to my next segment, which is, I was talking to a friend, known him for a long, long time. We communicate via emails, and I brought this up because he emailed me the other day, and I was talking about the F1 controversy, and I said to him about, this young driver, and I felt that there was some sort of conspiracy there, really. And he said he didn't realise I was into Formula One. And I've known him for a very, very long time. And I said, yeah, I've always liked it. Going back a long, for probably about 40 years. And he's known me for most of that time. And we were just generally sort of flipping emails back and forwards to each other. And then he sent me back this email with just one line. And it said, thinking about it, I don't really know you at all. And I was a bit shocked by that. And then I thought, even though I've known him for that amount of time, he really probably doesn't know me at all. He doesn't know me in any way, shape or form. And then I sat down and thought about it, and I thought, all the people I know, they really don't know the real me. They only see the person that I want them to know. They don't know the true me. They see the me that I want them to see. In other words, people out there in Radioland only know me as Dr. Den. People I work with only really know me as Dr. Den. They, believe it or not, they started the Dr. Den thing, not me. I was just Tutor Den before I came to the college. I was just a lecturer. I've been a lecturer for over 30 years now. And I just started up a website to assist my students, which is the tutorden.co.uk. And my students would go to that website and download files, and I would put up various bits and pieces for them. So I was known as Tutor Den for a long time. And then when I came to the college I'm working at now, they would call me Dr. Den for various different reasons that I'm not going to go into here. But I'm now known everywhere I go. They call me Dr. Den. So when I started the radio station here, or not started the radio station, but I became part of the radio team, they called me Dr. Den. So I'm known as Dr. Den. But apart from my teaching here, they know nothing about me. Absolutely nothing. I know quite a few tutors. I don't socialise with anybody here. I don't go to the pub. They all get together at certain times of the year and they all go off when it's somebody's birthday. They all buy each other presents. They all get involved and go off to the pub. I don't. I'm just not that sort of person. I'm a very private person, believe it or not. I don't, like I said, I don't socialise. I don't go out drinking. Don't go out partying. Too old for that. My knees won't let me anymore. And thinking about it, I never did. So I just don't do that sort of thing anymore. I'm just not. I'm a very insular, very quiet. Quiet's the wrong word. I'm just in a shell most of the time. I like to, when I get home, put my slippers on, go in front of my computer, do the things I need to do. I go into my workshop, go and do the things I want to do in my workshop. Go into the garage, go and work on my motorcycles, go and work on the car, go and do stuff like that. I'm a bit of a loner, really, when I think about it. I'm more of a loner than I am a social person, really. People who really know me, who have lived with me, will tell you I'm a miserable, grumpy old git. And they're probably right, which is why they get up and leave after a little while, which is their prerogative. I'm quite happy to be by myself, to be honest. So, yeah, that Formula One thing made me think quite a bit. So, what am I doing for Christmas? So, Christmas Day, I'll be sitting there looking at a turkey, and a friend. That's it, just me and a friend, staring at a turkey, eating a turkey, and then she'll probably tune her space and go and do her thing, and I'll go into my space, and actually I'll probably go in the shed and do some stuff. Yeah, that's the way it'll go, I think. So Christmas is not for me. I don't like Christmas, I've got to be honest. I'm more of a Bah Humbug thing. Bah, I'm thinking of Beatles again. Yeah, Bah Humbug, that's my thing. Not ho ho ho. So anyway, I'm going to bring it to a close there. I've got to go and do some bits and pieces before I go home tonight. So, thanks for listening. Hopefully, this will make you listen to the next one, or maybe it will just make you think, oh my God, I can't listen to that bloke anymore, he drives me mad. So, wherever you are in the world, have a good evening, have a good morning, have a good afternoon. Look forward to, it's not listening to you anymore, you're listening to me, so what would you be? Sharing the airwaves with you again, I think is the best way to put it. So, until the next time, take care, be safe, wash your hands, wear a mask, and take care. Bye bye. You've been listening to Dr. Den Does on Black Fox Radio with me, Dr. Den. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to your company.